And there again, maybe you'll be able to see that. You can see the fuel residue coming down off the bottom of it. If I pull that guy and fuel goes rushing out, y'all grab the bucket. If it does, I'll take my shaker siphon hose and siphon the fuel down below where we need it to be at. Alright, that's our fuel level indicator there. So, one way to find out. Wish us luck. Yep, it's above it. Alright, let me go get us a... Okay, so I got my fuel shaker siphon hose. These siphon hoses have a check ball in them, and as you shake the hose, it actually pre-primes itself. A lot better than getting gas or diesel taste in your mouth. I got 15 gallons worth of buckets. Hopefully I won't need all 15 gallon of it, but if I do. That's all it takes to make that hose prime up, and it's siphoning fuel out of the tank right now. And believe it or not, it actually will suck a pretty good rate of fuel out. It makes it very nice. Like I said, it beats sucking on the hose and getting a mouthful of gas or diesel whenever you got to do this. And all you got to do to make it stop is just pull it up like you do a regular siphon hose, and once it sucks air, it stops. You'll notice too that this fuel hose don't have red fuel in it. We do not run red dyed diesel in any of our equipment on the farm. And solely the reason why is we store our fuel. We have our own fuel stop and stuff here at the farm. And we ran into where we were having some issues with fuel issues with the red fuel. There again, I talked about, it'll actually be in the early part of this video. I talked about it the first night when I started, about how that we build our own injection pumps. And our buddy that taught us talked about the red dye. What he had seen is it would cause them to gum up sometimes. So we don't run red fuel in anything, and it also makes it nice if we're in the fields and we need to put fuel in a truck if we're hauling hay or whatever. We don't have to worry about running red fuel in a truck, because of course that's highly illegal, and it's because you don't pay road use tax on the red fuel. So it's about 40 cents a gallon cheaper. But we run green fuel and everything, so you'll notice the fuel coming through this hose whenever I was siphoning it there is actually yellow or green or clear. You really can't see it coming through the hose, and that's the reason why that's our decision. Most people are going to run red fuel, and when I tell people we run clear fuel and everything, they don't always understand why we do that, but that's one of the things we do. The clear fuel or the regular road fuel seems to also run a little better. I think it's dealing with the fact of sometimes that red fuel may not be used as fast, and so it might lose a little bit of its rating. as far as the potential for energy in it. As it's sitting in the tank at the depots, pull our screw out over here while that bucket's filling up. See if I still get fuel squirting out at me. No. Alright. Well, try the bottom lowest one, see if we get fuel out of it. Y'all don't let that bucket run over where y'all yell or something when it gets full. Alright, we're in good shape. We're going to go ahead and suck that jug right there the rest of the way down in it. Alright, so there's the fuel sending unit. Right in here, there is a fixed resistor, and as this wiper moves across it, changes the variance of the resistor. And that is actually what sends the gauge on the dash and tells it what level the fuel level is at. This is that cork gasket right there. Like I said, I got some gasket material. We'll scrape that good and cut us a new gasket using the old one for a template. Clean this up good here. Wash it off good, get the oil residue off. And then I'm going to probably do one of two things. Either put gasket shellac on it, or as the old timers would say, Indian head. That's not an appropriate term anymore. You know, that's some of that political correctness stuff that we're all worried about nowadays. Can't call it Indian head, it's a gasket shellac. But we may use some of that on this to make it stick and make it seal up on the sending unit, or we may use some, even though I'm not a big fan of it, RTV silicone, just to make that gasket stick, so that when we adhere it to everything, it will stick. So I'm going to cut you off for a few minutes. I'm going to go make this gasket, and I'll cut you back on whenever I get this gasket made. So hang out. Okay, so I got us a new cork gasket made. I'm going to go ahead and polish this sending unit right here with some emery cloth paper. Scrape the excess rough stuff off. And I'm going to do the same thing to the tank here. Like I said, that shadow, that's going to kill you. Now this is Permatex gasket maker. It is for fuel stuff. There's several different types of gasket maker. Some are rated for fuel stuff, some are not rated for fuel stuff. So you kind of have to be sure whenever you're getting one off the shelf, it's not one size fits all. There is different kinds. So I walked down the aisle and read all the instructions. Yes, you have to read instructions. People don't think you do, but you do. Coat one side and then coat the other. I'm not trying to put a big enough glob of this on there to bake a cake or anything with it, lay brick with it. I am just going to coat it so that this cork will adhere to the actual steel. One thing I always do too, a lot of guys I see, they'll just put them a big old, but like they're trying to lay block with the amount of silicone gasket maker they use. Problem with that is whatever squishes out on the inside or the outside, it squishes out the same amount on the inside. And you would be surprised how many times I've downed stuff over the years, and inside of it, on the oil pumps and stuff, yeah, big old wad of gray gasket maker or orange. Orange is most everybody's favorite. I reckon, so that everybody can see that they use some. I try to use black. The black just seems to, in my opinion, look a little more professional if I have to use it. Get my gasket laid down here, rotate it around. Alright, I'm going to fish this. Wipe around that guy like that. Alright, let me grab us a funnel and we'll put the fuel back in the tractor and fire up and feed cows. Alright, so we'll give it just a minute of running here and see if we have any leaks up here. So far we look to be in good shape, but we'll see here in just a second. It appears we have resolved all of our leaking return injector lines there. I don't see any signs of any fuel coming out. I don't see the filter leaking anywhere. It's got good clean fuel there in the bottom of the filter. All our hose ends that we had off, everything looks to be sealed up. There where we had off the fuel pump, the hose coming out of the tank, everything looks to be in good shape there. So I think we're ready to progress on.